expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome to Touched by Angel Live. I am your host, Angel Kinseys. My passion is to inspire seniors to get healthy and bring solutions to their everyday needs. If you wish to join the conversation, please contact us at 1-888-565-1470 or email us at touchedbyangellive@gmail.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Sunshine Senior Solutions, a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first, offering quality home medical equipment and supplies. Sunshine Senior Solutions is here to help simplify the lives of patients, caregivers, and their families. From canes and crutches to diabetic glucose monitors, your health, safety, and comfort is our #1 priority. Call or visit our website, Sunshine Senior Solutions, bringing the heart back to healthcare.
Hi, welcome to Touched by Angel Live. I'm glad to have you part of my show tonight. And we have a special guest tonight. I'm very excited because you know my show specializes in senior needs, and it's absolutely important to educate our community, not just the seniors, but also younger people, because there's so many caregivers out there that are taking care of their parents, so they need to be educated too. But my heart is really to help seniors. So I'm honored to have a special guest tonight. His name is Don Hill, and he is the director of the helpline for the Area Agency on Aging. And he's going to answer a lot of your questions on what the government, the state has to offer for seniors. Free, all different levels. So I just want to welcome Don. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. You guys could clap. We have an audience tonight. So my first question to Don, and I'm sure everybody would like to know this, is what are the services that you offer?
Sure. Well, the helpline, what it really is a gateway. It is an entry point where anyone in the community can call to ask questions, whether they're caregivers, whether they are a senior themselves, someone with a disability. So it really does kind of allow people to come to us, and then we take it from there and really kind of figure out what their needs are and then go from there. Our agency serves Okeechobee, Martin, Indian River, Palm Beach, and St. Lucie counties. So we cover all of those, and we cover people with disabilities as well as seniors.
But now you also not only cover those counties, it's also all over the state of Florida. And if you are tuned in, you know, we have radio and the platforms that we're on with television and streaming. So I want people to understand that wherever they are in any state, Don could help you connect to a community service or a state program in your area. So it's not just here, but for us that are here, he's going to tell you what we offer here. But it's really for everybody, because if it's the federal government, that means it could be in any state,
Exactly.
correct?
We have area agencies on aging all over the state. There's actually 11 of them. And we are number 9 in the lineup.
Wow.
And they're all over the country as well. So if there is someone calling from out of state, we can certainly get them to the right direction. Especially, you know, we have caregivers who care for seniors who are in different cities and different states all the time.
Now I understand you have 34 different people that are under you that answer the phones for the helpline.
Yeah, we have a couple of different teams at the helpline. Our first team is the information and referral team. So what they do is they provide resources, phone numbers, addresses, just community resources where people can really kind of contact to get help immediately. Next, we have our intake department. Intake is where we have a team and they do a state tool, and it takes about 45 minutes. It is over the phone. And what that does, it really allows my team to get a very good feel for the clients, what their needs are, what they can do on their own, what they need help with, do they live alone, what their income is. So after spending about 45 minutes on the phone, my team can really kind of read between the lines and get a very good idea of what the seniors' needs are, what the caregivers' needs are, and get them signed up for all sorts of state, federal, and local programs.
So your funding comes from the federal government and the state, correct?
Yes, yes.
And I understand there's different levels. There's free, right? There's a lot of free services, and there's a sliding scale, and then there's private. So there's so many programs available. Like you said, when you call, they're going to evaluate your situation. So for instance, if you're home alone, like I know a couple that they were together in their 90s, and he fell, and he is in a rehab, and she's all by herself with a walker. She doesn't drive that much. So somebody like that, even though they own their own home and they have their own car, could you talk a little bit about the criteria of the free versus the sliding scale?
Sure, sure. We do have several funding sources. A lot of our programs come through Medicare, Medicaid, which are federal. And then we also have the Older Americans Act, which funds quite a bit of programs. And we have a couple case managed programs. So Medicaid is case managed. We also have a program called Community Care for the Elderly, which like you mentioned is a sliding scale program. So it's not completely free, but based on the income of the applicant, they will slide the scale and make it so that it is affordable for the co-pays for that program. We also have HC, which is home care for the elderly, and that is a stipend. So a caregiver can apply for that and actually receive money for taking care of their loved ones. And then, like you said as well, we offer resources and information for many different types of private pay companies as well.
And so, because I know that there's people out there that maybe own a home, they have a car, and they're probably afraid to even think that, you know, they're going to lose everything. Could you just touch a little bit on that, what they would be eligible for? What is the cutoff line? How much can they have in the bank?
Sure.
How much income?
Well, with Medicaid, that really is the only one that has an income requirement. And it's roughly around $2,500 per person, with maybe a $3,000 asset limit as well. For a married couple, I think it would be $5,000 and then a $3,000 asset limit. So that is really the only one that has an income requirement. But we encourage everyone to apply for these programs. I think that's a huge issue, is that people automatically think, oh, well, I won't qualify, or I make too much money, or I should let someone else have that because there's more people in need. But I think there's plenty to go around. You know, there have been a lot of extra funding sources coming from COVID. Right. And we just want to make sure that everyone applies if they think that they may need the services as well.
So could you just tell us what some of the services that you offer?
Sure.
Let's say somebody doesn't have Medicaid and they have, or either they have Medicaid or Medicare, private insurance, whatever, and they own a beautiful home, they have a nice car, but they're on Social Security, but they you know, maybe they have a little bank account. Whatever, you go by that sliding scale for how much money they have, right?
Right.
But if they don't have a lot of money in the bank, but they have a lot in assets, like a home and a car, they're still eligible.
Exactly,
correct?
yes. That
So
asset
what-
limit would not include a home or a car.
Okay,
So that would
so-
be what they have in the bank.
So what kind of services do they offer?
Well, once we go through the assessment with them over the phone, we sort of figure out what programs may work for them. Based on their answers to the assessment, that would be where we would place them into a waiting list. Based on if they live alone, based on what they can do on their own, based on how much help they have, and then also how much help they need. Those things will really dictate their place in the state waiting list. So we put them on the waiting list, and then once a month the state gets funding for all of these programs, and you know, they tell us that we're able to release clients. So we release them in the order that they're in a priority. And you know, the programs are just really helpful. There's all sorts of programs. A lot of them are case managed. They offer services such as home delivered meals. We have housekeeping, personal care, which is very important for those people who can't bathe themselves, who need someone to come in and help with meal prep and just things around the home that a lot of people cannot do anymore. We have respite. Respite services are very important for the caregiver. A lot of times the caregiver gets a little burned out. You know, they need a little bit of help to go and take care of things that they need to do, go to their own doctor's appointments, go shopping, get away just for their mental health, because it's quite a bit of a strain on a lot of our caregivers. So we offer some programs where they can either come into the home, or they can actually go out and have the client go to an adult daycare or go to a congregate meal program where they can enjoy socialization. The main thing is that there's a difference between home and community-based services. In the home, we really like to promote aging in place, where a senior, they're comfortable in their home. That's where they've raised their children. That's where they've made lots of memories, and that's where they thrive. So being at home is a good thing. A lot of people don't want to go to a facility. They don't want to go somewhere. They'd rather be home. So we have these services designed to bring people into the home to help them. And then, of course, we also have community-based services where we have senior centers and adult daycare and programs where they're able to get out of the house, even if it's just for a little bit. Most have transportation where they will pick the client up and take them to the program themselves.
That's great. Just giving the caregiver a break is a lot.
Yes.
Because a lot of times the caregiver is the one that is really in need of
Yes.
help.
And if they're stressed out, they can't provide the quality care that they really could if they were able to get some relief.
Yeah. Now, you were telling me that they also have a volunteer program, because we talk about seniors, and I want you to understand that my senior community that I deal with are not old. My senior community is an active adult community. They go out dancing, they exercise, some of them drive, some of them don't, some of them could use help in the house too. That's always something that is in need. Like this couple that I told you, they're very active. They attend my classes every week. I'm on Zoom and I teach exercise. So these people are very, very active. And a lot of them don't even know the things that are available to them. So I think having a program like this that educates us, I would like you to talk about the volunteer program, because I have some of these seniors that are stuck in the house now with COVID, and they'll call me up and they'll say, Angel, I'm so bored. I would really love to go volunteer. So could you touch a little bit about what they have to offer on that?
We do have a couple of volunteer programs. Our first one is called SHINE, and that stands for Seniors Helping the Insurance Needs of Elders. And basically what that is insurance or Medicare counseling. So we will often recruit volunteers who are retirees, who either worked in the system in terms of working with insurance, or just really enjoy helping people, and do quite a bit of counseling. We do an extensive training program to teach them about the basics of Medicare and how to counsel someone. And they just prove to be a great help to the community, especially a lot of newly Medicare age clients. So those who are just turning 65, who have no idea what to do, who to call, what kind of plan to pick, and how that process works. So our SHINE team will walk them through that and really explain the ins and outs of Medicare, and kind of hold their hand as they go through and finally pick a plan. So it really has a dual side, because it helps the clients who need the help with Medicare, but it also provides that volunteer opportunity for them to become counselors.
And what is the age that your program works with? What is there a cutoff age or starting age?
No starting age. I mean, I guess to be on Medicare, you have to be 65.
Right.
So that would be the starting age. And then, of course, we also have people with disabilities who are younger than 65 who also, have those questions as well.
Okay. Now, we talked about a foster grandparent program,
Yes.
which I think would be wonderful for seniors to volunteer. Could you tell a little bit about that?
It's a great program. It's called the Foster Grandparents Program. And what we do is we place volunteers into elementary schools all over our 5 counties that we serve. And they're able to just kind of be in the classroom and interact with the children. And once again, you have this dual effect where, the children are getting the help that they need, and they're getting attention they might not be getting at home.
Yes.
They're almost getting a mentor, someone who really can, care for them. as well as the senior who's doing the volunteering gets to be around children and really feel like they're making a difference. So it's quite a win-win program.
I think that's great because being around young children make you happy. And,
Yes.
and today the kids are alone and you know they've got so much to deal with the COVID and being stuck in the house and bullying.
And the shootings, and there's so much going on. It's
and
scary being a
drugs.
kid today.
It is.
Yes.
And I was thinking about, you know, a lot of the children that are under the age of 5, for the last 2 years, these poor children have had to wear masks. So they've been raised. I mean, I've seen little 2-year-olds wearing masks in the grocery store when COVID was really first starting out. And I just think to myself, to them, that's a norm.
Yes.
So for them to have, you know, someone that's a loving grandparent to go into a classroom and to be able to show them attention and love and just listen to them. It's interesting because we were watching a documentary on Mr. Roberts, his original documentary that he talked about how he was raised, his family, his parents, and it was just such an eye-opener to me because his heart way back then was for children. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I have a heart for seniors, but the seniors need to have a heart for the young people because they're the ones that can reach the young people today.
Yes, absolutely.
Our grandchildren, our children, just kids in the community, so many of them are just alone and they're afraid to talk and just issues that they have. And so to be there able to have an ear to, you know, because I think as we get older, we are a little bit more calm and we could sit and listen to a child without losing patience because, you know, parents are busy working and cleaning and everything, but that's why a grandparent is a grandparent, you know. You could kiss them and say goodbye after you love on them and spoil them.
And then send the kids off.
And then they go home to their parents,
Yes.
Exactly. So I think that volunteer program is amazing.
It's very rewarding, definitely.
Yeah. So, are there any other services that you could think of that maybe the agency, because I know the helpline does one thing, but then the agency does something separate.
Right. Well, our agency manages all of those programs. So we have lead agencies that work for us that actually provide the services. So they do the case management. They are the ones that are serving the meals and having going out to provide the cleaning services and the attending. And so we have staff that really monitor those programs and keep them up to code. All of those programs are governed by the state, the Department of Elder Affairs. So we make sure that they're following all the rules and doing the services that they are supposed to be doing. In addition to that, we have a program that really focuses on the functionality and physical fitness of older adults. And that is our Healthy Living program, which is very interesting. They have courses that they offer for seniors. For example, healthy balance. So making sure that seniors are avoiding falls and strengthening their balance. They do all sorts of exercises to improve their balance. I believe there's a Tai Chi class as well. So just really focusing on the health of the senior and offering classes where they're able to get involved. During COVID, a lot of people obviously couldn't come to our agency, so we were able to give them iPads, and they were able to interact with the instructor via the iPad, which was great to keep them healthy and keep those programs going during COVID.
Now, do they have any programs helping with like teaching them computers? Like, for instance, to get on a Zoom and to learn, do they show them how to do that if they don't know how?
Yes, there would be instructions to really kind of help them to connect. We're all very patient and understand that the clientele that we work with may not be, the most tech savvy, but we certainly will be patient with them. And we also can refer them to other services that may help even more with helping them to, have someone come out and hook up their computers or just give them more information. So we can provide resources for those sort of programs as well.
So if somebody is in need and they call the number, which is 866-684-5885, you said that it takes about a 45-minute conversation to evaluate their need. And how long would you say from the time they call for them actually to get help? Or is that also on a need basis, like if it's an emergency or if it's something that can wait? Is there like a long time period for them to get help?
Depends on what they're looking for. If they're just looking for resources, various things in the community, phone numbers, agencies, and the resources that they can call themselves for help, we would give them that information over the phone instantly.
That's great.
And then for our other programs that we do our assessment for and put them on the waiting list, that would just depend, like I said, on kind of where they fall, what their needs are, how much help they have. And, once they actually get onto that waiting list, then, they would be taken off based on where they are.
Okay. So if you're out there and you have any kind of question, any need, we would really like you to call. You're welcome to call into the studio. If anybody has a question here, we have like a minute or two. I think we could answer any question. Does anybody have a question for Don? No? I think we've covered a lot. Okay, we've really covered a lot. So again, the number is 866-684-5885, and it's Don Hill, the director of the helpline for the Area Agency on Aging. And he will answer any questions that you have and direct you to the help that you need. And I want to thank you, Don, for coming and being my guest. I would love to have you again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I am sure that there's a lot more information we can go over. And I want to just let you guys know that in 2 weeks, my show is every 2 weeks on a Thursday night from 7 to 7:30. And you're welcome to come into the studio. We have a beautiful studio here with all artwork and everything. And we just have an hour together before the show, which is great. I want to thank everybody for coming out. But in 2 weeks, on the 14th, we are going to have a specialist. He is the owner of Preferred Physical Therapy, and he is going to talk about vertigo, dizziness, being disoriented, off balance, which has been a real problem, especially since COVID. He said he's a specialist in that area. So he's going to come on, we're going to talk about it, because he said he used to treat about 2 people a week. Now he's treating 32 people a week since COVID. So we don't know what has happened. Maybe it's from being in the house or whatever, but he's going to give a lot of good information talking about how to help you if you have that problem. So please tune in. What he does is he works with crystals in your ears. So he's going to be here on the 14th. So thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you that are on the radio, please call in. And if you have any questions, we would love to talk to you, even tonight. Thank you. And I'll see you on the 14th. So this is an example of the 6 classes that I do every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do Strength and Balance at 10:30. And then I go right into my Zumba Gold at 11:20, which is great because you get your strengthening in the beginning and it goes right into cardio. So I picked out 2 of my best exercises that I love. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the warm up on the Zumba Gold to show that anybody could do it. So the first exercise is sitting up straight in the chair. Remember, the most important thing is breathing and posture. Take your left leg, cross it over, put your foot on the floor, press down on your toes, have your heel up all the way, and bring that ankle right up to your knee. Take your right hand on the outside of your knee and pull your knee all the way over, lifting up your butt, and put your left hand underneath your butt, and keep pulling that knee all the way over to your right side. You're going to feel a burn right in this outer IT band. This is for sciatica and for your knee. Then we do it on the opposite side. For time purposes, I'm going to go right into the second one, standing. You sit back in the chair. Again,
You've been watching Touched by Angel Live. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you love. If you wish to join the conversation, have an idea for the show, or would like to sponsor the show, please call us at 1-888-565-1470 or email us at touchedbyangellive@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. If you or a loved one are interested in joining Angel on Zoom for her Strength and Balance class or Zumba Gold class for seniors, email her at angelkinseys@gmail.com. Have a great day!
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.